Hey guys, Addict Cyclist here with a Solestar review. So before we dig in here, I ask you to please consider liking and subscribing. Helps grow the channel, helps support the channel, and I really appreciate it in advance. So I waited until I had about 10 rides on these before I wanted to give my feedback. And the reason for that is the Solestar concept is a little unorthodox when it comes to how it's supporting the foot. And Solestar recommends that you ride at least 3 to 5 times. I've seen reports or comments that you should, maybe try them out a little longer before you make your conclusion. So wanted to do that before I gave mine. So if you follow along with the channel, or if you go back into my video library, you'll find very cool videos on my bikes, my Cannondale System 6, my Factor Rostro, my S-Force Epic, and some other friends' bikes and reviews. So, and gear. And also in my library, you'll find I've been searching for the perfect shoe and perfect insole, and I feel like I've gotten a hell of a lot closer than I've gotten in the past, and it took a weird, I'm going to say a weird insole and concept to accommodate my weird foot. Go figure that out. So the Solestar has always been something that intrigued me. I saw Ronnie Kuba's review a few years back on his black version that he uses. And I've seen them pop up here and there, but over the past year, they've just been flashing in front of me on Facebook ads. So I said, you know what? They have a 6-week demo trial. I did send one pair back. It was a pair of Oregon versions, and it just wasn't going to work. I wanted to stick with the controls, and they gave me my money back. They had me ship it to a bike fitter that's in Illinois, and they even covered the shipping, which I expedited via DHL. It was $20, so they covered everything back. So they are true to their word, and it was really cool to see that. So let's dive in here. So Solestar, right? Their idea and concept is to cradle the foot. And if you see here, this profile, and I can't find any videos that really go into the profiles here in the up close, contours. So if you look at this, the concept here, right, is not technically to support your arch, right? It has a neutral arch, and you can find more information on the Solestar's website. I'm not going to go into all of their concept, but how I feel about it. So basically their concept here is to support your ankle, right? So this comes up kind of right underneath your ankle, and it does a really good job of it. During the first 3 or 4 rides, you really notice it, and it's definitely there until your foot and your body starts to make adjustments to kind of set into the newer position. But very high quality product here. It has a met pad or met button, whatever you want to call it, metatarsal button. It's kind of firm but yet soft, so it doesn't really want to fatigue. It doesn't really feel like it's fatiguing your metatarsal support. It does come with really nice perforations, right, for breathability. Most shoes have a air vent in the front. Underneath, it's a non-slip texture, so this is not going to slide around in your shoe. It does have a reinforced, I don't know if it's a carbon or if it's a nylon, or I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's very stiff. It does have a little bit of flex. The black version is full carbon, and it has no flex in it, but this is kind of like a fiberglass type nylon, and has a little bit of give here. But you'll notice a couple things with these, right? So let's dig in here. So really great heel support, right? But you notice that as you come up here, you've got a little bump right there, right? Let's see if we can focus in there. It's a little bump there, right? On top of a support piece here of fiberglass that also ends, right? It doesn't come across to your first metatarsal. And there's a reason for that. The way that they designed it actually cradles the foot. You can even see an indentation here where they want your toe to be as low to the shoe as possible for more power, and they left that part out, so your first metatarsal is just driving into the shoe, right? And the first metatarsal obviously is pretty large and it's already kind of lifted, so it kind of balances it out, believe it or not. Any video that I've seen on this doesn't really talk about how it feels, and during the first couple trials and rides, I started to get very strange feeling up in this area, right, where it's kind of lifted. But by the 4th or 5th ride, it seems to go away, and it actually feels fantastic. You can kind of feel, how it kind of balances out the variations underneath your foot. I'm not going to get into the specifics. I'm not a scientist here, and I don't know much about the kinetics of all this, but all I know is that it works. It works for me. Some have tried it. Some that have had Morton's neuromas, it might cause an issue because of how this is designed, but I don't have one of those. and it just kind of suits me really well. And I'm just shocked that this odd concept has finally been, from what I feel, a resolution. And basically what you'll find is that you're just locked in. It supports your ankle, right, from even collapsing or rolling, right? So even when you have a high arch, right, your soft tissue, you still get a little bit of roll, right, when you're pressing down on the pedals. This completely stops it. You're not even allowed to. This cradles your foot, and there's zero roll. I mean, you literally feel like a Chevy Big Block, and your legs are just pistons just going up and down, up and down. There's no squirm. There's no, movement. And it takes a little bit of adjusting to get accustomed to that for the first couple rides. But you can see here the shape of this thing is definitely odd. It does have an arch, but very mild. So it's not specifically designed for a low, medium, or high arch. It's neutral, so everyone can use this insole. But again, the idea here is to support the ankle, which is a concept that you don't really hear too much about. But these are cycling-specific insoles. They've done their research. They've been around for a while. I know Ergon makes a IP3 version or an IP Pro now of this. So, Ergon's a great company too, German company as well. And they seem to have got a partnership going on here. And what I really like more than anything, obviously this Met pad and other features of this, but it has a non-slip texture on the front, so you're locked in. A lot of times when you loosen the shoe a little bit to kind of get some circulation, you kind of feel yourself kind of sliding around, maybe in this area here, or maybe this area here. There's almost no movement. It's like your sock is like attached to glue, especially when there's a little bit of heat in this. It's almost like your foot is glued inside, so you don't get any hot spots, any chafing, any calluses on your toes or on your metatarsals or anywhere, your heel. I mean, you're just glued in here. So they did a really good job designing this. I'm impressed. I did order Solestar Touring, which is blue in color. Does not have the perforations in the toe area for my mountain bike shoes. So these are more road bike specific. The blue version, the Tour version, is the same shoe, basically same shoes. I'm sorry, same insole. Same materials, same fiberglass or nylon, reinforced nylon that they used, just without the perforation. So when you're standing up on your mountain bike, has a little bit different feel because your foot's a little bit more neutral. You're not feeling those perforations, right, when you're standing up, because you do feel them a little bit inside the shoe, but it's something that you can definitely get used to. So I just wanted to kind of give my honest feedback and give some views here. It's very low in this section here, so if you have a wide midfoot, it will accommodate. There's a little bit of flex in there. The heel is definitely pretty deep. It does recommend to increase your saddle height between 2 and 5 millimeters. So I didn't do that because I changed from CD wire 2s to the CD shot 2s. So the stack height was a little bit lower with the shot 2. So I counted to make that difference up from my shoe change. But basically it recommends that your body and your ligaments and your muscles will have to get used to this new position, because you're locked in here, right? There's not a muscle or ligament that you're not utilizing when you're riding that has some type of strain or change of motion, right? Because your body gets used to a certain position. So I would give it probably 5 to 10 rides until you feel like you've gotten comfortable with this. But hey, listen, you got 6 weeks to try these. You've got nothing to lose, everything to gain. It's definitely a quality product, and I would give it my my go here. So and even mentions even in here to let me see here. Yeah, Solestar insoles have an influence on your musculature and movement process. It can therefore take up to three units until your muscles have become fully accustomed to the change. So yeah, I felt that. So definitely, I felt it in my knee, my right knee, the inside right knee, and my left calf. I also spoke to the bike fitter that I shipped my Ergon version to. I wanted to, get his feedback. So I assumed that, if it's going to be sent back in the US, right, we're not going to ship it back to Germany. So he exclusively uses Solestar, swears by them. Also mentioned that if I find continued discomfort, to consider going a little bit more heel out, toe in with the cleats, because again, your leg is and hip and foot are kind of more aligned and locked in, and it may help overall. I didn't feel like I needed to do that. You know, my yellow cleats have 6 degrees of float, so I felt like that should be enough to kind of take up some of the variance in maybe my kinetic chain here. So I didn't make any adjustments there, but I'm liking these, so I'm pretty happy. Wanted to share some feedback after I got some miles on these. You can see they're starting to wear a little bit, putting some power there. You can see where my foot rests in these, basically, where my toes are. I just took off the adhesive sizing. There is a size chart on the website, so I highly recommend doing that. You know, with CDs, you can, you know, order basically your size. And in Euro, if you're doing Shimano, it recommends to size up size, all relative to the shoe sizes. So just take a look at that chart before you order these, because you will need to make some adjustments relative to your brand. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Appreciate the support. I hope you got some useful information out of this review. And yeah, be well. Take care. Thanks.